to DJ Tiger in the kitchen. Make sure I am recording. Hello, welcome to my kitchen again. I hope you enjoy the creamy lemon butter chicken recipe that I did. If not, you can check it out on YouTube. It's already got like 27, 30 hits or watches. I am going to go viral. But anyway, I'm a DJ. This is not what I'm doing. This is just what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So today we are going to make a keto-friendly pizza. Yes, keto. People on keto can eat pizza, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to make a barbecue chicken pizza, keto style. And what makes it keto style is that we are not going to be using flour. It's gluten-free. It's low in carbs. The only carbs that you may have will be from any toppings that you put on it. But the crust, there will be no carbs in it. And obviously there's no carbs in chicken. There may be some little carbs in your seasonings or toppings like I mentioned. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm trying not to do 30 minutes because you know I don't like to be in the kitchen longer than 30 minutes. This recipe has very little ingredients. For the crust, we're going to be using almond flour. Sorry, mind fart. 2 eggs. Some cream cheese. And that's it. Oh, that's not it. Mozzarella cheese. I was about to say, what is happening? Mozzarella cheese. All right, once again, for the keto pizza crust, we need almond flour. We need cream cheese. We need 2 eggs. And we need some mozzarella cheese. All right, so let's get started. Since the last video, pulled my webcams out of storage in the basement because the quality of that video I wasn't pleased with on my cell phone. My cell phone is cracked, so there was this little shadow going on and the quality was poor. Anyway, so now I got some webcams, and with my webcams I have food cam. All right, there's already some egg residue in here because this is my take 2 of this video. I started the video and forgot to plug up my laptop, so the video stopped in the middle of me doing what I was doing. Alright, so for the dough, we're going to preheat the oven, or we're going to turn the oven up to 425. I am at 425. I am going to get my pizza pan. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm not going to do that yet. I am going to make my dough. So I'm going to combine 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese, because this is a second take. I have already used a whole bag of mozzarella cheese. So luckily, I had the presence of mind to buy more than 1 bag. All right, 1 cup, and then 1/2 cup, plus whatever else falls off to the side there. 1/2 cup. All right, to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. So this cream cheese I used for a previous meal that I made. So it's already used a little bit. I've cut some off. And I cut some off for the first take. So I don't really know what 2 tablespoons of cream cheese is. I'm just going to say it's right here. And then you want to cube that up. So put it in cubes so that it melts, because we're going to put this in the microwave for 90 seconds. All right, cubes, and I'm going to put that over in my cheese. Set that off to the side. I'm going to the microwave with this. Is this light too bright? The light seems to be a little bright. Maybe if I change the color to something else. Well, maybe not. There we go. I'm going to put this in the microwave for 90 seconds. And while that's happening, I'm going to crack my eggs because the eggs needs to be beaten. The mouse for my computer all in the shot there. Try not to get anything on my mouse because I need my mouse. All right, so we're going to whip up these eggs. Why am I never? Oh, here it is. All right. All right, the eggs are beaten, and while we wait for the cheese to melt, we are also going to get a half a cup of almond flour. Almond flour is really just finely shredded or finely ground up almonds. It mimics flour, but it's not flour. It's totally gluten-free, as it says on the bag here. All right, my cheese should be coming out of here in a second. You need a fork or some type of utensil to stir this up. We are going to be stirring up cheese, so it's going to be a little difficult. All right, here's my cheese. I'm gonna stir this. Stir this up a little bit. Combine the cream cheese and the mozzarella cheese together. I'm going to put my almond flour in there, and I'm going to pour my 2 eggs on top of that. All right, and I'm going to take my fork and we're going to try and make a dough ball. Now, it will be a little difficult to do when you first get started because it's cheese and you're trying to combine something in here with the cheese, but if you are patient with it, it will eventually combine. Now, during this process, if your cheese gets cold or too hard to mix, then just put it back in the microwave for 10 seconds or so. At this point, you don't want to put it in there for too long because you got these eggs in there and you don't want scrambled eggs in your dough. All right, so we're going to mix this until we get like a dough-like texture. It won't fully mimic a pizza dough, but if you can do like I'm doing here and can move this around this bowl, then that's good enough. All right, we're gonna let this rest for a minute and want this to cool down for just a second because it's hot. I do want the cheese to cool at this point. So I'm gonna sit this behind me. You need some parchment paper or some type of medium that food doesn't stick to. Or, you know, what I wouldn't say wax paper because we got to put this in the oven. Parchment paper is preferred. You could use your countertop like you would with, I guess I can turn it to me while I'm talking. You can use your countertop like you would if you were making a pizza dough, but the problem with this is that it's cheese and it's going to stick to absolutely everything. So my recommendation is to use parchment paper. You don't have to put down flour. You can actually. You don't have to put down any flour. You can just put it on the parchment paper. So I have some parchment paper sheets, Reynolds Kitchen parchment paper sheets that I got from Jewel. I'm just going to lay these out. Piece of cheese there. Lay these out. I just need 2 overlapping like that. Now, if you want to put down some flour to make it easier to move around, we're not going to pick this dough up off of this paper. But if you'd like to put some down, you can take a little bit of almond flour and sprinkle some down there like they do at the pizza shop. All right. Okay. That's down there. This is still a little warm, but that's fine. I'm going to take my fork and I'm going to lay this out on this parchment paper. Like so. See how that fell out of there like that? Alright. Now, this is called a fathead dough if you're looking for the actual recipe. It's called a fathead dough. And the recipe says to mash this down with your fingers or a rolling pin. But as you recall, I just said that this is cheese and it's going to stick to everything. And I've done this many times before. So what I do is get another sheet of parchment paper and lay it on top. And then you can press it down gently with your hand. Or if you have a rolling pin, you can use your rolling pin. You can pull this off of here gently to reposition. Gently, because the cheese is warm. I'm just going to reposition that a little bit. Alright, now I have a rolling pin. So I'm going to roll gently. Roll this out a little bit. I can use another piece. So I want to go this way. You want to make sure, try and make this as even height as possible and don't roll it out too thin. The eggs in it is what's going to make it rise. Because there's no gluten in there, you're probably wondering, well, how's the dough going to rise? Well, because we just put 2 eggs in there and that's going to make it rise. Once you spread this out, taking this paper off becomes a little easier. It's not the perfectly round crust that I want, but it works. And then I'm going to take a fork and poke holes in it, because as it rises, we don't want there to be bubbles. And we're going to pre-cook this so that it can set up with that dough and the eggs. I have a pizza pan here. This pizza pan is almost as old as I am. I remember my mother making pizzas on this pizza pan. I'm not sure how this pizza pan got here, but it's here and I'm using it. We're just going to bake this pizza dough on the parchment paper. And you may be concerned, well, Sean, the dough, or DJ Tiger, sorry, I haven't told y'all my government name. The paper is going to burn in the oven. Well, you may think that, but that's not what's going to happen. The paper will get brown, but it's not going to burn, catch fire type deal. It'll be just fine. Again, I've done this many a time before, and it worked out just fine. I'm just going to cut off some of this excess paper. I don't need all of that. Okay, and then we're going to put this in the oven at 425 degrees until it kind of sets up. You'll see it brown and set up. I'm going to put this in the oven. While that's in the oven doing what it's doing, let's get our toppings together. In preparation for this video, I already chopped up some chicken breasts, and in the first take of this video, already seasoned the chicken breasts. So what I used here, and I don't measure my seasonings, sorry y'all, you just have to measure, you just have to put your seasonings on there until you feel it's right. I like to over season. I love flavorful food, so I just season until it looks right to me. So what I put on there was some Cajun seasoning, some HVR, that's Hidden Valley Ranch, and then some seasoning from myspicesage.com. Myspicesage.com has a lot of spices that you may not be able to find in the stores. So if you're looking for a particular spice, like maybe a coriander seeds or something, and you can't find those things at your store, go to myspicesage.com. And they have all types of things. They have mixtures of stuff as well, like this one, which is a barbecue seasoning. This barbecue seasoning has onion, sugar, salt, garlic, paprika, black pepper, ground red pepper, paprika extract, and natural smoke. So I put a little of that on there as well. And that's all I put on there. Just the Cajun, the ranch, and the barbecue seasoning. That's all I have sitting out here, so that is all I intended on using, I guess. I usually put more stuff on there, but that's what we're doing. It's going to be in some sauce anyway, so this will be fine. Alright, so I'm going to mix all this up. Let it get all nice and happy in here with all this good seasoning. I like to season at every point. You know, you watch some of these cooking videos and they will cook and then they season at the end. I like to season everything. You eating everything, everything needs to be seasoned. Turning on my pan, I'm going to put a little olive oil down in the pan there. We're going to saute up this chicken. And maybe a little more chicken than I need for that size of pizza. But this is a healthy recipe, so it's all good. Check my dough is coming along just fine. So what are we going to use for sauce? It's a barbecue pizza, so we're going to use a barbecue sauce. I have some sugar-free barbecue sauce here that I'm going to try out. It's mesquite flavored. We're trying to keep the numbers down here. We are low on carbs. We don't want to be too high on sugar. We don't want to be too high on salt. So some things I'll put salt in, some things I won't. Some things have sugar in it, some things don't. Oh, that smells amazing. G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. I'm going to stop saying people's names so they aren't paying me. And then I'm going to mix some ranch in the sauce here. So let me get a little bowl. down to the food cam. Put some of this barbecue sauce in there like that. Need a college degree to open these things. Is this open? And a little ranch. And we'll stir that up. Make a little white sauce. Let's see what that tastes like. Oh, that's good. That's my first time doing that. That's good. Okay. All right. Check my chicken. And so you diced up your chicken, and while it's sauteing, if the pieces look like they're still a little too big, then cut them up a little more. You know, you don't want these humongous pieces of chicken on your pizza, or maybe you do. I don't know. All right, let me check my dough. It is rising. I'll pull that out in a second and let that rest. I need this barbecue sauce. Don't need the ranch. We're going to come back to the ranch. Also, on the topping of the pizza, we're going to use red onion. You should have already seen the recipe. If not, the recipe will be at the end of the video. It depends on where I feel like putting it when I finish editing it. But some red onions are also going to go on the pizza. And of course, whatever cheeses you'd like. I have mozzarella cheese and some Italian style cheese, which is provolone, Asiago, Parmesan, Romano, and Fontina. Oh, and I'm also going to add some bacon bits because bacon makes everything better. All right. Now, unlike my last chicken video, you probably want to make sure that this chicken is done all the way, because the pizza is not going to be in the oven long enough for it to do what it needs to do. So just cook that all the way for this recipe, and I can smell my dough, so I'm going to take it out before I burn it, which I don't want to do on video. I'll show you that in a second. Alright, here is my pizza dough. It's going to continue to rise a little bit while we cook it. Get a little spoon so we can put our sauce down on the pizza. And spread that out. Like you would any pizza there. Get it all the way over to the edges, because it's all cheese. This is a cheese dough, so you're going to want to eat all of that. So go ahead and put your sauce all the way to the edge. Alright. Our chicken looks like it's done. I also want to add some barbecue sauce to the chicken while it's in the pan here. Oh, sorry, I didn't switch screens. Problem with having too many screens. Alright, I also want to add some barbecue sauce to my chicken while it's in the pan. Just a little glaze. amazing. Maybe just a touch more. Alright. Now let's put this on the pizza dough. That's my barbecue chicken. Yeah, there's a whole lot more chicken than I needed. That's alright. We're gonna get it on there. Okay. There's a couple of more pieces over in the pan there, but that's enough of that. Okay, so I have my red onions that I've already diced up here, or already pulled apart. I didn't dice them up, but these are a little large to be placing on there like so. So I want to cut these up a little bit more, just a tinge more. Just a touch of love, a little bit. Some big onions. All right, that should do. It looks like that'll do you. And you want to sprinkle those on there. You can use more or less or none, whatever you like to do. This is just my recipe. All right, that's enough. Onion. All right, now for the fun part. Bacon. There's usually a little pack in here, and I don't want the pack to fall out on the pizza. All right, a little bacon, or a lot of bacon. Oh, and I have some Vermont cheddar. Where are we? Here we are. Here. We got some Vermont cheddar. These are for crackers. I was looking for some Gouda cheese, because Gouda has a smoked flavor and it will work well with this barbecue pizza. But my store didn't have any Gouda cheese, so I bought some sharp cheddar cheese because that's what I did. Not as sharp as I want, but it's sharp enough. Alright. I'm just going to lay a couple of these down on there so it can get down in there with the chicken. Also, I noticed when ordering pizzas, they tend to put the cheese down first and put the stuff on top of it. I want the cheese to get down in the... I want it to be all married together. Why do they do that? Why do they put the cheese down first and then the toppings all on top of it? This is how I like to do it. I want it to melt down in there. Get down in them crevices and such. And stuff like that. Alright. This, my friends, is a barbecue chicken pizza keto style. What we have before you is a keto crust. The keto crust is just basically almond flour, eggs, cream cheese, and mozzarella cheese. We got that going for the crust. We sauteed some chicken. We seasoned it up, sauteed some chicken. And for the sauce, instead of tomato sauce, we're using a barbecue sauce with a touch of ranch. We put the chicken down. We have some red onions. And then we put cheese on top. I also added some bacon. You can choose to do that or not. And this is what we have, and it's going in the oven here. This is our keto barbecue chicken pizza, about to go in the oven. So let's do it. Let's put it in the oven. And when we come back, we'll taste and see what it tastes like. I'm DJ Tiger, and thanks for joining me in the kitchen. I'm going to clean up around here for a little bit. The pizza should be in there about 12 to 15 minutes. You'll watch it to see when the cheese starts to brown. Then it's ready to go. I'm going to clean up in here a little bit, and then when we come back, we'll have some pizza. All right? Talk to you soon. Alright, we are back. Make sure I am recording. We are approaching the 30-minute mark, and I don't like to be in the kitchen longer than 30 minutes. So we got that done in less than 30 minutes. We put it in the oven until we see that it's done. And I believe, yes, it's done. So I'm going to take it out of the oven because I don't want it to get too dark. I let it cook a little bit too long here. I'll let you see it in just a second. Let me switch my views. Alright, here is the barbecue chicken keto pizza. Let it cook a little long. That's okay. A little dark cheese ain't never hurt nobody. So, before I cut into this, I want to say that when you pull up fathead dough recipe on the internet, you may get two different versions. One will have 2 eggs, one will have 1 egg, one will have a little less flour, almond flour than the other. If you want your dough to be crispy or kind of hard like a pizza dough, then use 1 egg. If you like your dough a little softer, then use 2 eggs. I use 2 eggs and 1 cup of almond flour with 2 cubes of cream cheese and a cup and a half of mozzarella cheese. So let's cut it up, shall we? Get my cutting board here. This is going to be hot. My dough is going to be a little soft. Another benefit of cooking this on the paper is that you can just take it off like that. You can probably pull the whole thing out of there. Like that. Alright, there's our pizza. Let's cut it up, shall we? I gotta get a picture of this before I take a piece out of it. So give me just a second. Alright, let me grab a plate. And let's get before I do that, I wanted to drizzle just a little bit of barbecue sauce over it. Make it look fancy. This is not drizzling like I'd like, but that's fine. We'll do that. And then I want to drizzle a little bit of this ranch on there as well. Okay, now let's get a piece. I'll take this piece. And the crust will get harder as you let it sit because it is, guess what? Cheese. So it's going to harden as it sits. So if you let it cool off a little bit, the crust will get harder. I need a fork and a knife because I want to do this without burning my tongue. Piece of the pizza there. Camera's not focusing too well, but let's eat. It's definitely barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken and cheese. How can you go wrong? So this is keto barbecue chicken pizza. Very simple recipe, only a couple of ingredients. You got the fathead dough, which had 4 ingredients, and the toppings on the pizza just had some barbecue sauce, some ranch, the chicken, onions, and I added bacon and cheese, and that's it. So thanks for tuning in to DJ Tiger Cooking in the Kitchen. I don't know what my next recipe will be, but just showing you that you don't have to be a professional cook to eat good food. I will talk to you next time, right here, same place. See you later.